determined not to miss the start of the race and with the phones on. Look at that, Todd Ackroyd, a legendary start maybe, or a jump start, I don't know. I've no idea about that one, so the people are walking around with their microphones in there, but Todd's got good starts all the way through the day. He's got some very, very good starts during the day, so we're just going to have to see. Okay, we've got the points series. For the motard class, Cudge leads on 142 points. Now, this is after the first 2 rounds, including today, all the races. Tony Hironey, 125 points. Mike Kyle, 108. Mark Oliver, 101. And remember, he had a DNF in that last one, so that's not too bad, actually. 101 points. Wilson Woods, 50. Luke Cabral, 46 points. Where is James Clark? He's down there in 22 points. So, got 22 points for the race, second place, where he was black flagged and out for a lap or so. But anyway, that's right. That's the motard class. And I think I've done the senior intermediate trophy, but we'll run them off again. Roger Castro, Markham Barrett, Uriah Wrighton, Chris Beams, Todd Ackroyd, Neil Chappell, Colin Terry, Kyron O'Neill, Ken Jeston, Tarbin Walker. That is the series points, and I'm going to take those home with me and bring them back. So I've got them at the beginning of the meeting rather than being inefficient and not having them. Normally chuck my paperwork, Ray, but have them. Okay, Roger Castro comes along there on the TSS Red Baron sponsored machine. We are at the final intermediate sprint cup there, a 5-lap race here. And the intermediate sprint cup, while we're here, why don't we go through a few of the sponsors and just have a little wee chat about them. Precise Print done the program. Down in Paraparam, they can deal digitally all over the countryside. As I mentioned, when I was doing my cemetery circuit board game a few years back, I went and got all the printing done by them because I wanted to put my work the way of somebody that put their money into our sport, and that was my ethos. And they are 3/4 of an hour away from home, but that to me it was worth the extra effort. And Sean, totally professional all the way through, especially with someone like me. I'm a bloody electrician. And I know nothing about printing, so the samples, the backwards and forwards, the discussion, he was always open to things. And, you know, for a guy walking off the street, that was a tough call for him, but we got the job done. TSS Red Baron, Danny Verk Suzuki, Henshaw Signs, Ctas, live audio and video streaming, also very supportive sponsors, and not just for this season as well, for many seasons for the Vic Bridgestone Winter Series. Scooterati, Fastway Couriers, Kiwi Bike Insurance, Ivan Jones Engineering, and RS Motorcycles, and all come along and help, and they've regularly been into it. Hello, we've got a hand up there into turn 1. We've got a hand up there into turn 1. That is Roger Castro out of action, so it's a bit of drama for him. Not sure what went out there. I was looking around for a red flag, but usually but there's no red flag, and it is he's out of action. So that's handed the lead to Richard Markham Barrett, who incidentally was the fastest man on the track. It's a shame this didn't evolve a little bit further, because he'd done a 1:16.248, whereas Cathro was on a 1:16.356. So there it is. Cathro's parked up just under the Toyota sign. He's all right, didn't fall off or anything. Uriah Wrighton is now in second place. Todd Ackroyd in third. Chris Beams, Colin Terry, Chance Oliver Stevens, and Ken Jeston round up the top 7. Duncan Rowe and David Johnson out there as well. So dramas out there for those two. Chris Beams and Colin Terry have been battling all day. 22.1 and a 22.2 for their lap times. So expect some fireworks out of them. I think those are those two bikes coming out of the Higgins corner there along the back straight. And that looks to me like Chris Beams, and I think Colin Terry's just a little bit faster on there, so he's fixed 50. Okay, Markham Barrett comes through there, 16.248. He's dropped down to the 118s. He would have seen Roger Cathro pull out there, and that's Uriah Wright can go through there in second spot. I mentioned the lightning start that Todd Ackroyd had got, and maybe even a jump start. I know I can't see that system. I don't have that system in front of me. I just saw how quick he was off the mark, and nobody else was. And while I might have speculated it could have been a jump start, I also said that he's had some damn good starts all day. So the fact that there's been no jump start penalty come through just shows you that people need to look at Todd Ackroyd to maybe get some hints on how to start fast at a racetrack, faster than anyone else. Always the motard guys are very exceptional starters, and I think a lot of this is to do with their motocross background, where they have literally a fence up in front of them. There's a little wire or steel barrier up there, and you can't go until that's down. So there is no jump start. If you do jump the start, you just go into a wall, and then you don't get out of the gate. And especially when you see those guys go to into the road racing world, especially in other classes like the Superbikes and 600, many of them have done. You can always see though that they're so disciplined in their start, and this is part of how they've got that way. So back onto the track, and Markham Barrett there slowed down considerably. He knows he's got it up in the bag. He's over 2 seconds slower than he has been. Uriah Ryken is maintaining at roughly the same speed, maybe a little bit slower there. And we've got Todd Ackroyd going around there. He's actually maintaining pretty constant lap times there in 3rd spot. We go to 4th spot there, Colin Terry, and he's put in his fastest lap of the race, as has Chris Beams as well. So on lap 4 of 5 laps. How many races we got to go today? Looking at it, is it 4? Oh, that's practice, sorry. This is the Intermediate Sprint Cup. Next one's Junior, and then the Senior. Don't forget, folks, at the end of the day, we've got those airbags to pick up. Not a big job. Just takes a few people to get out there. They are airbags, so they're not heavy. And it's a job that's got to be done. It's also a pleasant job to do because there is a lot of people to talk to while you're doing it. There is a little bit of time to do it, so we hope we get a good crowd. Many hands make light work. Okay, the checkered flag comes out for the first win of the day. Richard Markham Barrett, I'm sure he'll take that, despite Roger Cathro being sidelined out there. So I would suspect that Roger Cathro's got enough points to continue on and have no trouble there in maintaining his lead. But that's how racing goes sometimes. Todd Ackroyd goes through there in 3rd spot. Colin Terry followed by Chris Beams. No changes for those guys along the way. Chance Oliver Stevenson, the first of the ladies in this class, comes across there in 6th place on a 1:23.6, and she takes out 6th place. That's being done and dusted, I think, except we'll get Ken Jeston in there, and might as well get out and look for the other 2 guys as well, Duncan Rowe and David Johnson, see who's finishing there, because while they're at the tail end of the field, there's no first, so there's no last to make up a field. He's going to lose that one. What's he going? Something going on there. Duncan Rowe just cruised across the line and let David Johnson take that. No sun in his eyes because it's coming from behind. Back to some music, folks.